Hello, hello, welcome. I am so excited to speak to all of you entrepreneurs today. We are going to be talking about this wave of the new entrepreneur. I know you have less time. You do not want to be spending all of your time working. You want to be going out, enjoying the beautiful weather and spending time with your family and also yourself. And I know you don't want to be working all the time because we are getting to this point where people are burnt out, they are stressed, they are overwhelmed, and they know that there is a different way. So today we're going to talk all about this different way because I have spent probably 10 years really leaning into this other way. I had spent so much time waking up, and hands up, let me know if this resonates with you, but I had spent so much time waking up with anxiety and depression, and the thought in my head 24 hours a day was, what do I have to do to be successful? Right? We're always locked to our to-do list, needing to do more in order to be successful. And there's this culture within entrepreneurship and business that tells us that we need to hustle and grind and do more and just be more productive and just wake up earlier so that we can make more money and be more successful. So I want to debunk that today and really teach you and talk about a different way, because I think that is the old way. And now I think the new way is you finding your joy, you finding your peace, you lighting up so bright that you attract everything that you want, that you are magnetic, that your goals and dreams start to come to you and unravel effortlessly. And in this process, when you are following your joy and your light, everything is more clear. You know your next best step. Therefore, if you know your next best step, the path is clear, the path lights up, and then everything that you do has so much more intention and so much more momentum, because the place that you take action from will be magnified. So if we can make sure that that place is, I can feel it for you because I feel it in me. When this place is just heaven on earth, everything ends up being easier, and you get clients out of nowhere, and you make more money, and you just start to claim the abundance that you deserve. I had a client who literally her theme last month was magic, and she made an extra 10K doing nothing different, just being magnetic, embracing the magic. And we're going to go all into that today because it is so beautiful. And they do not teach you this in self-development. Even they don't teach you this in business school. I went to business school. They didn't teach you any of this stuff. And so my goal for you is to make business very simple. I want to give you the fundamentals of business so that you can just place that into everything that you do, because I know business can get overwhelming. There's so many things, whether it be social media and funnels and emails and all of these things that you might be thinking, where do I start? What do I do? And I want to try to break that down for you so that you have more clarity and you know your next best step so you can create success your way. Sound good? So if you are feeling like you want to achieve more success with more ease and joy, you want it to be easier, you don't want to be always in action and hustle and doing and forcing, then you're in the right place. If you are a mom and have less time and want to also shift the way that you see the world so that you stop your limiting beliefs with you and you don't pass them on to future generations. If you already have a successful business and want to maintain that success or grow that success easier, then you are in the right place. I know so many people, when they do achieve success, maybe you've had your first 100K month, and then you are just overwhelmed with fear. Fear that you can't maintain it, fear that you're not going to be able to do it again, and fear of success that if you become more successful, you're going to have less time, right? You might be thinking that. So I want to start to plant the seed that more success doesn't mean more time. It just means more intention and more focus. So I'm going to go through my 3 steps to help that process for you to make it easier and to help you achieve your goals and reach your goals. We're good? Okay. So if you do not know who I am, my name is Vanessa Ortali. I have been coaching and training entrepreneurs and corporate professionals for 15 years. I used to do corporate training and development with Fortune 500 companies all over the world, and then ended up starting my own business, really supporting entrepreneurs, because I think entrepreneurs are in the forefront. They see change before corporate does, and they are willing to do things different. They are willing to feel that little nudge within them that says, I want something more. This can be different. And they go out and do it, and you are leading the way. And so I am just supporting and cheering now entrepreneurs, and I do have some clients that do work in corporate, but at the end of the day, I want to work with forward thinkers who know that there is a different way, because there is. And I want you to lean into that, because I want you to really think about how you feel. When I started on my journey, and keeping in mind, I was a corporate trainer as I was also evolving in this process, because I thought something doesn't feel right. I'm still waking up anxious and depressed, and know there is a different way. And I saw the movie Inside Out, which is a Pixar animated film, and it depicts your thoughts and stories in your brain as anger and happiness and sadness. So if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And when I watched this movie, I thought, holy crap, all of the bubbles in my brain are blue, which was sad. And so I wanted to shift that, and I knew there was a different way. So here we go. I am here for you. And in doing all of these things and teaching all of these principles, like I said to you before, if you're here live, I could spend an entire year teaching this. So I want to make it really concise for you. And I know my clients, as soon as they start applying this, I had a client who wasn't able to make any sales, and in 7 days, she made 10K. I've had clients that are consistently, that went from 4K months to 30K months consistently, and having multiple six figures in their monthly revenue, depending on, you know, what you do in your industry. So I'm just here cheering you on. So let's go. We're going to go into these 3 steps, because I know that it can be super transformational for you. And as I introduce these 3 steps, I want to introduce the concept of a home. I want you to think of your business as a house, and I want you to think of the foundation as yourself. Because as you look out into your life, your business, your relationships, your environment is simply a reflection of what is going on in here. Who you are in here is going to spill over into every area of your life. It is what people see. It is what people feel. So I want the foundation of the house. They're pouring the concrete. That's you. Your business will only ever be as big as you are. And we want to make sure that we focus and are super intentional about who you are and what's going on inside, because we're going to build everything on top of you. And I want you to shine through that house so bright, because that house, I want it to be so unique to you. I'm not here telling you this is the way it has to be. I'm here to give you a framework, to show you a framework so that you can make it your own and create business and create success your way. This isn't a one-size-fits-all model. I want you to think about and try what feels good for you. I'm going to share what works for me and my clients, but at the end of the day, my job is to ignite this little light in you so that you shine it so bright that your success becomes inevitable. Right? So good. Okay, so we have the foundation, which is you. And then we have the house. Ignore the roof. We have the walls of this house. And that wall of the house is what most people see, right? That's you showing up. It's you sharing your message with the world. It's what the people see of who you are and what your business is. And then we have the roof. Without the roof, there would be rain and snow and sleet, and it wouldn't protect you from all of the elements and environment. And your house wouldn't be complete without the sales. You need to sell, and actually the sales are one of the biggest parts of your business. And I don't want you to get scared. I want you to pay attention to when I said sale, how did that feel in your body? Did you get scared? Do you start to shift? And what comes up in your body when you think sales and marketing and funnels? Do you start to break out into hives? Do you feel that it's stressful? Do you feel that it's hard? I want to change that, because your business, I'm sure you've heard of the saying, how you do one thing, you do everything. And your business is no different. I don't want you to feel like you're putting on different hats when you are going from your personal life and you and in your joy and in your element, and then, oh, it's time to work, put on a different hat. You get to be you in every element. And that, my friends, is the secret to success. You want to be more successful, you want to make more money, it's you being you in every element and feeling good in every element, and not feeling like you have to take off different hats when you're playing different roles. It's coming into your authentic self, your message, what you stand for in everything that you do. Does that resonate with you? And so let's go into the steps. So the first step to really level up in your business without the hustle and without the grind and without the force and without all of this action, and to actually slow down. So this first element is the foundation, and is that key that's going to help you to slow down and do less and allow things to be more clear for you. That is number one. I need you to find your alignment and your light and your joy within. And you might be sitting there to say, Vanessa, this is a load of BS. What do you mean? It can't be that simple. And let me tell you that it is. But let me explain to you more of what it is. So when you find your alignment, what does that mean for you? This is where I want you to insert what alignment means to you. Alignment is you in flow and you feeling good. I want you, action step, to write out, whether you do it right now or whether you take it away as an action step for your journal entry to this evening. I want you to be thinking about, what brings me into alignment? When do I feel at my best? When do I feel good? Is it drinking a cup of tea, going for a walk in nature, hanging out with my pets or my dogs or my family? Your number one priority is feeling good. When you feel good, the action from which you take in this space, completely different. And here's where I love strategy. I love business. I can grab your business and create an entire strategy for you. The strategy means nothing if the person executing the strategy is not in a good place, is going to have a nervous breakdown, is headed for burnout, because the business that she creates from that place doesn't last. It is not sustainable. We want to create a sustainable business model and success path for you. And that starts with alignment. I've had so many clients come to me lately saying, I am so exhausted. If you are tired and run down, this is a sign to you that you can do it different and you need to slow down. So the other key to this slowing down is why sometimes I think self-love is nonsense. Now, let me clarify. I think self-love is very important. I think the way people talk about self-love isn't correct. Self-love is not about you having a bubble bath, doing your nails, doing your hair. We have to get back to if you are taking time for you, and the whole time that you are taking time for you, you are not in alignment, you are going over your to-do list, you're thinking about how crappy you are, you're comparing yourself to others. None of that sounds like alignment. None of that sounds like self-love. You have to get really clear on the thoughts and the stories that are going through your mind. And let me tell you, this small shift, if you just applied this one step in your business and in your life, everything would change. I want you for the next 7 days to really focus. What am I thinking? What is going through my head? What are the stories that I'm telling myself about myself, my beliefs, my business, my life, other people? If you can start to not tell any stories, and celebrate yourself and truly love yourself and be the most kind, beautiful person to yourself, again, that will spill over. Your business, which is why yourself, right? So you are the foundation, and your business will be a reflection of what's going on in here. That is the thing that spills over. Because when you show up, that's what spills over. That's what people feel. There's no lying. And it doesn't matter how many lies you tell yourself. It doesn't matter. Because we tell ourselves so many lies. We tell ourselves, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I need this. I need that. We're constantly looking at the external world to change, to make us feel better. And once you stop that, and once you decide, no, nah, the external world does not have to change. It can be exactly as it is, and I am good. That's when you own your power. That's when you take your real CEO brain and hat on in your entire life. Start to own your power. You are not a victim to anybody, anything, including your business. And this is where, when we start really diving into your alignment, what makes you feel good, and allowing your joy to lead your decisions in your business, your peace, your inner peace to lead your decisions in your business, this is where you start to make multiple six figures with ease. This is where you can actually slow down. You can make your team smaller. You can minimize your expenses because you're starting to really pay attention. I'm going to give you a quick story. When I first started the ladies community, which is a community that I built now over 6 years ago, I think. I'm not going to do the math live, but it was about 6 years ago. And when we first started, we would invite people to come to the community. And I had some friends and some people working with me at the time to invite people to come out to our next event, because, that's what you do. You share what's going on. We all had the same outline, the same structure, the same template, whatever you want to call it. And almost every single time when I would show up at the event, 90% of the people that were there were people that I personally invited. Not my staff, not the people working for me. What does that say to you? Yes, you will do more for your business than anyone else will, but it's also the energy from which you take any action. So, a couple other things I want to note within this alignment section is to start paying attention from the place you take action, which I've been talking about, and now we're going to connect this all together. There is a difference between inspired action and forced action. Forced action, the place from which you do things, is I need to do this. I should do this. This is on my to-do list. I have to do this. Versus inspired action, where you create the space and time for you to reflect and follow the energy and follow your next best step. And when you follow your next best step, you have complete trust and complete knowingness that I got this. And I'm going to know exactly what to do when I get to my next step, and I'm going to have complete faith. It is as if you are driving in the complete dark, and you just continue to have faith that you're going to put one foot in front of the other and you're going to get to your end destination. As opposed to the forced action, you might be forcing it and you start ending up in the trees because you're not actually paying attention, right? Okay. The other thing I want to note within the alignment area is you getting to know yourself and your body, and knowing that every person is different, and also men and women are different in our bodies and how we want to show up and run our businesses. You get to have it all, but what all means to you is a little bit different for every person. So define what all means to you, and then honor your body and know, as women, we have different hormones, we have different bodies, we have different chemical structures, everything. And so I want you to honor that. And sometimes, and this was some of my struggle as well, when I was following people within the business world that were super masculine and really aggressive in that action, and maybe it works for them, and that's awesome. But as a woman, that didn't work for me. It took me a week to recover. It didn't feel good in my body. My hormones were all whacked up. I was getting cysts on my ovaries, and I was having physical reactions to the way that I was trying to do business like a man. You don't have to do business like a man. You are a woman and you are powerful, and I want you to own your feminine power, because when you start to own your femininity and your beauty, ooh, your business also becomes that much better. So looking at how you can really honor your feminine. And there's so much we can talk about here. We can do an entire workshop just on the feminine and how to come into that and how to release all of that. So if you want to chat more about it, send me a DM. But I'm painting a picture for you. I'm putting these seeds in your brain so you can start thinking of things differently and creating success your way. Okay, let's move into number 2. I'm just looking at my notes on the side if you see me glance over, because I want to make sure I get everything for you. But moving into number 2. So number 1, we have ourself, the foundation of who we are, finding our alignment, finding our joy, really paying attention to our thoughts and the stories that make up our life, and stopping the patterns that we no longer want to create with us. Because if you have children or you want to have children, we don't need to pass that stuff on. Just like our parents passed stuff on to us that we wish they didn't, but it's all good. We can move through, right? And so even consciously thinking, what do I not want to pass on to the next generation? And if you don't have kids, just think about the next generation within your business or in this world, because who you are matters. And I want you to shine that bright. So now let's move into number 2. Once you find your alignment, and you can be doing these simultaneously, they are not mutually exclusive, but they are important in each of their own right. Number 2 is showing up. These are the walls of your business. Now, there's so many different ways to show up, especially now. We don't need to go into all of them right now. We can chat more about that a little later. You can show up on podcasts, emails, your website, social media, and even social media. You have TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and I know that can be overwhelming. But again, it doesn't matter what strategy you implement if you are not being authentic to you and who you are isn't clear. I want you to really think about, who are you? What do you stand for? And what do you want people to know? If you had a microphone and you had all of your ideal target demographic in a room, and you had an hour, and if an hour scares you, think about 10 minutes. It doesn't matter what the time is. I want you to think about what you would say to them. What do they need to know? And if that question's a little difficult, think about your younger self. Because oftentimes our target demographic is a younger version of us and what we wish we knew. Think about what she needed to hear. What would you need to tell your younger self? And for me, that's why I'm doing this workshop right now. It is that you don't have to do it that way. You don't have to hustle. You can find your joy and you can still be successful. You can own your femininity and your peace and your love and attract everything to you. And I don't even you might notice, I didn't even mention law of attraction and manifestation in this workshop, because none of those things matter. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of things we do in those that might not be working for you. And we can talk. I actually have a free download, so I can send you that. But at the end of the day, everything is energy. And the source from which you get your energy is very important. So let's talk about how you show up. So we talked about your message. When I assess a business and a business strategy and they aren't seeing success, they aren't seeing results in their sales, in their business, and their engagement on social or however they're showing up, most often, it comes back to the message. And what do I mean by your message? I want you to, number 1, be able to answer, who are you talking to? Who is your target demographic? And then coming back to, what are their challenges? What are their pain points? And what vision do they want? What are their goals? And so when you think about their pain points and their challenges, you want to be thinking of, what are they worried about? What keeps them up at night? What are they Googling? What problem do they want to solve? And then you want to be thinking about, okay, well, where do they want to go? What is their goal? What is their desire? And sometimes it can be difficult, whether you're selling a product or a service, that maybe, and here's the key, sometimes what your audience wants and needs is a different thing. And oftentimes we are selling something that will solve a problem, but it's in what they need and not necessarily what they want. So they might not actually want your product, but they do want the end goal and the end result of what your product gives them. And so we have to start getting really clear on who we are, what we stand for, and what that message is that we want them to get. We want, when people look at our content, we want people to be thinking, holy moly, that person gets me. I am exactly that. And so if you want a mini social media audit and a messaging audit, let me know, because this is super, super important. So if we start to connect it together, because I always want you to see the big picture, we have the person first, that's you, and then the person that shows up. So we need to really solidify who this person is so that when you show up, ooh, it is magnified. I want to paint a visual for you. You are in a forest and you're with a bunch of people, and the forest and the trees are just so dense you can't see your way out, and you guys are lost, and everybody spreads out in order to find the way out, and they say, okay, when you find your way out, come back and get us. And so you're just going and you're not sure how to get out, but you keep following your next best step. You keep following the energy. Turn right here, turn left here, and you see light. And you've now realized, I think I found the way out. And as you're sitting there, even though they told you, come back and get us, you have this knowingness, no, that's not the best way. I am going to stand in that light, and I am going to sing and dance and play music and be as loud and bright as possible so that they see my light and they hear me. That's what you're doing when you're showing up. You're attracting your tribe. And I so often see people being in this energy where they are in alignment. They know their message. They show up and they shine so bright so that everybody can hear them and see them. And they show up so bright for a day. And then on day 2, they start to dim their light because they start to get doubt and comparison, and all that gunk starts to creep in. And then they start questioning and doubting themselves. Do I go back in? Do I go back into the forest and grab everyone? I'm here to tell you no. I'm here to tell you to, and that's why number 1 is alignment, because you need to stand so strong in who you are and what you stand for so that your light shines so bright and you do not compare and you do not doubt, because as soon as you doubt and as soon as you compare, you go right back to dimming your light. And you got to go right back to step 1, finding your alignment again and finding your joy. Because remember, when you're in doubt and comparison, the content that you create, anything that you create from that space, it's not going to attract your tribe because you're not in your light, and it's not going to lead to sales. And so often I have clients come to me all the time saying, I just want the strategy. Tell me how to get more views on social. Tell me how to make more money. And I can give you the strategy. But it's not going to work if you don't have these 2 things in place. You can think, I know that you think that if I had more money, if I had more time, if I had more followers, if I had a better house, if I lost 10 pounds, then I could show up. Then I would get the followers. Then I would make the sales. Then I would do all this. And I hope by our conversation so far, you're starting to see that that's not real. Because even if you had more time, the action that you're going to take from that place isn't going to land. Even if you had more money, you're going to end up spending money on things that you don't even need, because we've all been there. Even in the beginning of my business. That's another story for another day. Even if you had more followers, it wouldn't matter, because they wouldn't be the right people. So stop doubting yourself, stop getting on yourself and being so hard on yourself, and just follow these principles. So I want you to think, before we go into step 3, I want you to think about, what are your goals? What do you actually want to achieve? And then I want you to sit in the complete knowingness and trust that I already am. Who are you, and how would you show up if you already were? If you already were free, if you already had all the money you could ever want, if you already had all the followers you could want, if you already looked exactly the way you wanted, how would you show up? Who would you be? And I'm going to plant a seed that I actually want you to go beyond that. I want you to go not even to the place of, oh, I already have 1 million followers, I've already made $1 million. I want you to go beyond to the person that says, I already did that. I already had the $1 million business and I'm completely safe. I'm completely good. I already had that. Go beyond it. And here's an analogy. When I used to take singing lessons, I used to sing musical theater. And when you try to sing a note and you try to hit that note head on, it sounds flat. It sounds forced. It sounds like you're pushing the note. You want to approach a note from the top, like this. Ah. Oh, now we're gonna start singing octaves. But you want to approach the note from above. And that's what I want you to do as you start showing up. Show up like you've already done it. It's already completed. You're already past it. You're hitting it from above. So good. So this will help you to attract your tribe, to make more money, and to just be a happier person, which is always my goal for you. I want you to feel so good. I want you to love waking up in the morning. I want your entire world to shift and change without any effort, just because you are being and showing up different. So recap, because I always like to do the quick recap. Number 1, foundation, you. Number 2, the house, the walls of the house, which is how you show up, and your message and how you project yourself and what you share with the world, because your job is to share. Find your alignment and share. And number 2, don't get scared. Here we go into the sales, because you are meant to live an abundant, amazing life. Don't be scared to sell. Don't be scared to make revenue. Don't be scared to succeed. It is not different. Sales, all of these are actually the same thing, spoken about it in a different way, because all sales is communicating to your audience how you can help them to get to their desired goal or away from their pain and their challenge. That's it. And if you can effectively do that and effectively show your audience how you get them there, oh, amazing. That's where you will see endless amounts of success and abundance coming your way, inevitable success. But it also comes back to the message. So here's where we're seeing everything connecting. So the main challenges that I see within sales, people who aren't getting the sales that they want, it usually boils down to 4 things. Number 1, they aren't actually selling. Ask yourself, do my people know how to buy from me and what I actually sell? So they're not selling. You need to sell every single day. Share it with people. Share what you sell. Number 2, the item that they're selling isn't packaged in the right way. That could be your price isn't right. It can be that the way that you're marketing it and promoting it isn't landing. Again, connecting back to their message. And I wrote a couple things down, and I've already been really talking about them. So I would say, I'm going to leave it at that. Let's make it even more simple for you, because I'm all about making business simple. But the 2 reasons why people aren't reaching their sales are those 2 things. Number 1, it's not packaged correctly. Number 2, they're not actually selling. And that comes back to your messaging and how you show up and how you share. Connected to that is also, you don't have a method to share. So really looking at how do you show up and how do you share your message? Like I said before, there's so many different ways to do that: social media, email, podcast, all that. But knowing that you have an email list is very important to sell. And we can talk all about social media and email strategy, but at the end of the day, if we come back to those two things, are you selling and is your package packaged correctly? And we can go into an entire sales audit if you want, send me a DM, but it's all connected together. And when you look at sales, it's not about forcing anything. It's just about showing up. Showing up as if you already are. And really releasing yourself from the outcome and from the expectation. There's this element of surrender and trust and knowingness in sales. And I've mentioned all of those words so far. Because when you show up to sell, you cannot be attached to the outcome. You have to, in your heart, want to help them so much that it doesn't matter if they even buy from you. And I see so many people getting attached to the outcome, and people can feel that. So if you want a actual sales strategy and to go through, just send me a DM. We can talk about one-on-one calls and all of that stuff, but none of it's important if you aren't actually selling. Now, the other thing to consider as you move through and really leaning into doing less and having that stillness and space so that you can actually achieve more is, as you start to get really good at this, and as we start to bring it all together, as your alignment is on point, as you start to show up and you know how to connect to your audience and you know how to share your message with the world, and then you start to make easy sales and people start coming to you, it's all starts to become automatic, and you can start to build automation within your business, which is so fun. And I could speak about this forever. But that's also how you start to build and grow. And that's why I don't want you to be scared of success, because as you start to build and grow and you start to validate and have proof of who you are and what you have to offer and that it matters, that's when you can start to build that automation, and because you have a proven system, and that's when it can start to work without you, and you can start building amazing passive income also within your business. So I'm just quickly looking over to make sure I have everything, and I'm there. So I want to conclude and bring all three of these together because, and I love visuals because they're just so easy. I speak in metaphors sometimes. Drives my boyfriend crazy sometimes, but hope you're following along and they help you. I'm very visual. And so what I want you to think about is what we're talking about today, and the strategy and the simplicity of business is like the structure, the bed of a river that allows you to flow, and you're the river, right? It's the outline that allows you to be you. It's the structure that allows you to just flow and be in your uniqueness, because I want you to be unique. I want you to share. I want you to show up and share your quirkiness and all that you are. I want people to either love or hate you, and it doesn't matter. And you don't care because you're no longer self-sabotaging. You're no longer pleasing. You're just so confident in who you are. And you just share that with the world. That's what I want for you. And that's what I want to be for you. I want to be that structure for you that allows you to have the clarity and those boundaries so that I'm working in here. I'm able to stay in my lane because I make business simple for you. So if you have any questions, please let me know, just for being on this call today. And I know, because I tried to create everything really concise for you. And I know that everybody's business is at a different place. I know we spoke about femininity. I know we spoke about strategy and marketing and sales. I know we spoke about social media and showing up. So if you want a free strategy call where we can go into whatever strategy you need and or an overall business strategy, I know we spoke about your packaging and your pricing. If you want to dive deeper into some of those nitty gritties, what I gave you today was the big picture, the foundation of those three things, the boundaries for you. So if you want a specific custom strategy, step-by-step guide, so you get really clear on your next best step, I want you to send me a DM on Instagram. I'm also going to follow up with an email. So you can just click there, apply for a free strategy call, totally no pressure. It's an hour strategy call. We're going to do a deep dive into your challenges, where your confusions are, your frustrations. And then I'm going to take all of your challenges, really look at your business, and then give you, like I said, a step-by-step guide into whatever that area is for you, whether it be your packaging, your sales, your pricing, your social media, or even your limiting beliefs and you comparing. And maybe it's all three, and that's okay too. So I'll give you a custom strategy. And then if you want to work together further one-on-one so that I can continue to guide you, give you that strategy, give you the guidelines so that you can flow and you can feel at ease, then we can talk about that. But there's totally no pressure. But I do want you to know that if you are open and if you would like further support, I do have a couple one-on-one spots available, and I'm opening up a couple spots within my entrepreneur mastermind. We don't need to talk about that now because it doesn't matter. If you want more one-on-one support, we can talk about it on the strategy call. And if you don't, that is okay too. I want to give you the strategy so that you can show up and have more clarity on how to achieve your goals and get the results you want the rest of the year. So that is my gift to you. It is a 24-hour offer because my calendar fills up really quick and I want to make sure you get there. So I'm going to send you an email with that application. Apply for the call so that I know a little bit more about your business, and then we'll book you in for that free strategy call. So make sure to apply within the next 24 hours of viewing this presentation. So if you have any questions, let me know. I truly, truly want you to be able to live the life of your dreams. And I want to just paint the picture that another way is possible. And I want to be that example for you. I want to live the example that things can be easier. You can find your joy. It doesn't have to be stressful. You can have the tools in place that you need to create a massively successful business and feel amazing. So if you want that, we're all good. And if you don't, that's okay too. I love you. I'm cheering you on no matter what. So I appreciate you all so much. I hope this has helped you. And please send me a message, apply for a free strategy call. I can't wait to connect with you one-on-one and support you in your business. I love going into all the strategy stuff as well. But at the end of the day, I just want you to be you. I want you to be your authentic self. I want you to be so happy and full. And I just want you to share that with the world in whatever capacity, whether it's with one person, 1,000 people, or 1,000,000 people. It doesn't matter. Totally no judgment. We are all here on this beautiful journey on earth, and I just want you to enjoy it. You're meant to enjoy your life. You don't have to be in stress and overwhelm all the time. I know, I've been there. I've been at the place where I was literally questioning, what is life for and why am I here? You know, and it wasn't good, but I'm also grateful for it because I know people live like that every day. And now I can say to you with complete authenticity that I have felt that. And I found a way out, and I know that it can be different for you. You don't have to live in that anymore. So just shine your light so bright. I'm so happy to have you in my community and in my tribe. And I am just sending you so much love. Keep me posted. Let me know what you take away from this, and let me know how it helps you on your business journey. I love hearing all of your results that you get from these strategies. And just like I love getting them from my clients when they hit 50K months and 30K months, I'm just so proud of them. And at the end of the day, it has nothing to do about the money. The most beautiful thing about it is that they are the happiest they've ever been. And it's come more easily than they ever have before. So yeah, I'm just so full of love. I love you. Okay, I will chat with you soon. See you later.